Hello and welcome to a new vlog. In this vlog I'll be filming the 48-hour Becca's Bookoplathon. This is a readathon hosted by Becca and the Books, and it will be entirely live, so there are 4-hour sprints on different channels and everything will be live. It's very interesting and I'm very excited for it. It's currently 9 in the morning on Saturday, so it already started 8 hours. I'm in the time zone that my roll drops are at 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the night, and 1 in the afternoon. This readathon you get 1 prompt beforehand and 3 prompts during, or 8 if you get like 2 prompts beforehand, and you only have to fulfill 1, but you can fulfill of course 2, and that will go on during the rest of the readathon. And the first 2 prompts were dark cover are fantasy, and for that I'm reading the Key Warlock Weekly, book 1, Accused by Jolley. I'm reading this for a book tour because the second book is coming out, if I'm alright. And this is it's a fantasy about Levi, and he's a journalist. He's autistic and bad at magic, and he swears that he didn't kill a certain person, and he's framed for murder, and then he's going to explain what happened on these days, and he's telling that to this kind of police officers, and it's so far very interesting. I'm like 80 pages in. I already started it beforehand and I already read a little bit last night, but I was just very tired. I had a long night, long evening, and I'm reading it as an ebook because it is free on ebook. Let me get the tweet. He has put a giveaway for signed copies of the book attached to this tour. So he'll be giving away some books, but you'll just have to check out his Twitter or down below. Plus, you can download his books free on his website, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and Kobo. For his writing, he has a Patreon and a Ko-fi or Coffee. I don't know what it exactly is. So I'll link everything from Jolley down below. He's a person I talked to before in a Twitter group about autism, and he's such a kind and lovely person, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Actually, it's only 250 pages, and I went into this book very blindly. Like, I read on it, but I of course forgot what it was about when I got to reading it, and I think it's so far very interesting, very plot driven. At least that's how I feel like it is. Like, he's telling the story, and I think the main focus is the story being told to these officers and or counselors, whatever they are, and it is so story based. So it's hard to say like, oh, this has amazing characters or character involvement, because so far it's mainly focusing on the story, the plot. So keep that in mind if you're not a very plot-driven person. I think this might not be the best for you. Normally I don't read thrillers or mysteries that much, but it's pretty light, and it actually reminds me of like the vibe atmosphere in Malamander, even though it has like very different age range, but it's like indeed the vibe of the book reminds me of Malamander by Thomas Taylor, which I really enjoyed. So I'm now going to continue with my breakfast, where of course I'm watching the sprints. this time from Steph, and I'll probably be reading some whilst I'm watching. I have a lot of books I want to finish during this readathon, and I hope I can get to them, because I'm in the middle of so many books, and I'm also so close in finishing some of them, and I'm very excited to share this whole journey with you. So, I'm going to get on with my day. Today I'm home alone. My parents are at my grandmother. Wow. Hi, it's now 12:15. We're still sprinting. At least I'm watching sprints. And I'm now on chapter 16 of Accused. And I'm really enjoying it. There is some more action, and it's going really fast. And I haven't been reading that much. I've also done the dishes, some for the laundry, and now I'm going to care for the animals we have. We have one bunny, which you might have seen in earlier vlogs, and we have 11 fish. So I'm going to care for them. I've been listening to the Horizon Zero Dawn soundtrack. Horizon Zero Dawn is a video game that I really enjoy watching. I haven't played it, so this afternoon at 2, I'll be in a call with my parents, my grandmother, and my brothers to speak to her. Because of COVID, I haven't seen her in months. I cannot even remember when was the last time I saw my grandma. I think it was July or August or something. At least a long time ago, so I'm very excited to speak to her again. Very sunny outside today, so I'm also going for a walk. In 45 minutes we'll have the next roll drop on Ashley's sprints, and I'm excited to be at that, because then I can see which book I'm reading next. I'll of course be first finishing Accused, but I have 70 pages left of that now, 70 to 80 pages left of that now, and I truly think I cannot finish that in 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do instead is now work on certain things, and then for the next timestamp I'm going to finish this book, and I have also an audiobook that's 1 hour long, and that I could use perfectly for going outside, because I go outside between 20 and 40 minutes regularly, so I could go on a bit of a longer walk after the talk with my grandma. But that's also going to take up some time, and since I'm home alone, I'll also be cooking myself, but I already made, I'm going to make pancakes, but I already made the mix thing yesterday, because my parents wanted to bake some pancakes to take to my grandma, and they are going to be home before 9, of course, because we have lockdown restrictions. I'll try to do as much reading as possible. With my friend group, they have movie night tonight, but I'm not joining because I don't really like movies. But I also want to have some time for my family and stuff like that. So we'll see how it's all gonna go. I hope I'll stick you outside for a little bit. I have to take some pictures for bingo I'm doing, and to send them in as requests, and I also have some school stuff to do, and I hope I can get to that as well. So busy, and hi, we just had the roll drops. Very exciting. They were 20 minutes ago, and I chose my books. I had to think for a little bit. The roll drops were POC rap, and the other one was contemporary, so I have to 2 choices, and I'm probably going for the POC rep. Normally I wouldn't, because I don't read it that much, because I don't have it that much, but for my book club, which is happening next Wednesday, so it already happened when this went up, for the launch of the book club of my library, we are reading Zwendelprins by Rima Ori. The author is POC, and the characters are, some of the characters are POC, at least the main character is. And the great thing about this book is that besides that I'm only 20% from the end to like 80 pages, I'm also super invested in it. I'm loving it. It's like a fantasy romance, but all the fantasy aspects are mostly like things, magical objects. You have people with magical powers, but that's like the minority. And you have a few magical beasts and like their magical countries. But it's rooted in, I think, Hinduism, romance element in it as well, which I'm really enjoying. I'm not the biggest romance fan, but if it's done well and pretty low, I really like it. It's a YA, so it's not very graphic or anything. And we are going to talk with the author of the book when we're discussing it. So I'm very excited to discuss it with her, because I think it will be great. She's a young author. Her book isn't that popular yet, and I think we need, as Dutch people, we don't have a lot of Dutch fantasy writers, especially not for my age range. And it's super exciting to read about people from my age and more fantasy that is Dutch. And as of course I'm learning to teach Dutch, I'm extremely excited to be able to recommend Dutch fantasies, because they're always like, yeah, but don't read translations, blah blah blah. But having a Dutch fantasy is so important, because there are so many fantasy readers out there that don't care about the contemporary. So I'm very excited to continue and let you know my thoughts further. And if I can get that done, of course, I'm also going to try to read the book with the dark cover or fantasy. Doesn't matter, because I think Accused has both. But then I'm going to read Snitch by Marky Woodrow. I'm currently 42 pages in out of 2,216. I'm reading this book for my study. This is a longer project, and this is one of the books we have to read. It's a contemporary thriller, and so far I'm not the biggest fan of it, because I just don't. I think this is too young for me, but even at that age, I didn't read contemporary to like this. I just don't really gel with the writing style and I think, because I cannot relate with these characters in any way, shape, or form. I had a very different childhood as an autistic person, and having very different things and not feeling any peer pressure. It's just not something I even read then, because I mostly read fantasy at that age, or just very unrealistic real fiction. And I don't like thrillers at all, just in general. I like mysteries, but people going to the bad side just is not maybe a trope that I really like in Star Wars, for example. I'm not the biggest fan of that. And I just think that these books are pretty good for the intended audience, but that this doesn't hold up for any older ages. I think with middle grade, for example, I can still read it as at an older age, and I think books like A Kind of Spark hold up better than this does. I think this just doesn't speak to me in any way, shape, or form, whilst A Kind of Spark, even the writing style just speaks more to me. I think these kind of Dutch contemporaries just don't vibe the writing style. I think there's a specific writing style, like Gary Slay also uses it, and I don't really like it. So, until further, I'm going to chat with my grandmother in 10 minutes, so I'll talk to you later. I just had the call with my grandma and my brothers and my parents. It was very lovely, and I have a headache, so I'm going outside soon. But we had the Bookoplathon scavenger hunt during one of the earlier spins from Steph, and I'll be getting the picture from that up here so that I can show you the books that I found through that. It was really fun to do. These books were just close to me, or I had to get some of them. So we'll start with a book that starts with a B, which for me is a Bible. I chose a Bible, just a normal one. This is a Dutch one with, of course, Bible pages. And since I'm sitting in my living room most of the day, I picked a Bible for that. And then my initials, that took me quite some time. I had to get this one from upstairs, but I chose Nachtlinder bij de Schepper. This is a Dutch book. It's poetry and non-fiction, and I have the initials TGS. So TS works because the is like the, so that works for that. Then a title with a number in it. I chose 1968 by Jean Guillot. This is one of the later installments in this series that I haven't read. My father really enjoys reading them, and I want to get to one someday, but maybe for a video project where I read my dad's favorite books or something. Then a book with a star on the cover or any title. I chose a collector's edition book that we have from Star Wars, because of course Star in the title, and it's really cool. Like this. I don't really like Star Wars. I watched the first movie, but it has like the good guy going bad trope, and it's not just not my vibe. Currently reading, I chose Snitch because it was one of the only physical books that I'm currently reading, and I wanted to have a physical book. So Snitch, I already told you what this is about. Then Mustard or Navy on the cover. I chose a very ugly one, but this was the first one I saw. Eindelijk vrij. About after Second World War, those few first days at the end of Second World War, and these are stories. I think I don't know. I just found it, and gosh, it's ugly. Then a book featuring a game. I chose Ready Player One. I had it near me because I'm going to unhaul this because I read it and gave 2 stars, and I don't need such a chunk around my shelves if I didn't like it. Then for less than 200 pages, I chose The Computer Has Ziet Vliegen. I'm also going to unhaul this. I think I gave it 2.5 stars. Yeah, I don't need to carry this on, so that was also why it was near me. And then for the last one, a book featuring an animal, Het Onbegonnen Feest by Els Pelgrom. I think I gave it 3 stars, but I'm going to unhaul this because I don't remember much, and I don't fancy rereading it. And there's an elephant on the cover, and it's about like these elephants and stuff. So at least animals. So now I'm going outside. It's still sunny. Yay! Going to get that headache away, hopefully. So I'm going to take you along for a little bit, and hopefully I'll be back in time for the end of Milan Sanremo, because I really like, that's not my accent, Milan Sanremo, because I really like cycling. I really like watching cycling. I haven't cycled yet. I'm like, of course on a normal bike, but not like on the bikes that they ride on. So I really enjoy watching that. So I hope I'll be back before the last 10 kilometers and hopefully get some reading done. But now I'm going outside and enjoy the world and take some pictures.
Stijven met daarachter stereocolor onderzoek. En dan krijg je straks nog een linkerbot en een bot naar rechts. De diorama. Laatste kilometer. Hier nog een bocht en dan nog eentje. En dan moet hij de benen stilhouden. Het is toch stereocolor onderzoek.
Hi, I just finished Accused by Jolley. It came out as a low 4-star, the lowest it can get, but I still really enjoyed it. I think it got a low 4-star, which is not a bad rating. I just want to claim. Because in my head it wasn't very logical, or the writing wasn't that spectacular. The plot was very good and I really enjoyed it. I had a few good laughs and I was really intrigued. I think my intriguement can go higher because I was really intrigued. Okay, not the lowest it can get, but a 7.14. A pretty low this. So, and you can see that it's a self-published book in certain points. Like, of course, it doesn't remind me of, how do I say, Wattpad novels, but I think books published through a publisher have like a bit of a different style, I think, even. But I really enjoyed it. There's a non-binary character in this book that I really enjoyed. It wasn't a big thing, but I really enjoyed their existence, and also some gay characters, and of course the main character is autistic, and this is mentioned, but it isn't like, oh, autistic, and you sometimes can see like stimming or things that can be overstimulating for this character, which is the main character, and that was really good to see for me, and I think it has fantastic autism rap on that part. Like, it isn't like, oh, see me have autism, oh, cry, but just subtle and like the livable way that I experience as well. I'm just very tired. It's now 10 before 9. Good morning. Yesterday I finished the Zwendelprins by Rima Ori. I haven't put it through a couple yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It will be either way high 4-star or a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It is inspired by Hinduism, if I'm alright, and Indian mythology. And I really enjoyed the story. It was very lovely, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with my book club people, and also with, of course, the author. I'll of course leave a link to down below, and if I put my couple in later, I'll let you know. Yesterday I saw the roll drops. Look, it's now 2:30 already. 1:30 already. 12. Damn. Great. I saw the roll drops, and I decided on either ways rereading Heartstopper Volume 1 as first of a series, which is already extremely sun damaged because I had the books laying here and I need a new shelf. I already said it in my last vlog, but it's extremely damage because of that, because I keep reading it and putting it there for a video, and I'm not filming the video, and otherwise I'll be reading Snitch. I already read some of this today. This was the chance card, I think, and I'm on page 86. So I'm just going to see. This is a graphic novel that I read, I think, already 4 or 5 times. It is very lovely, and I just don't know yet. I'm currently watching CSM stream, and I also need to do some school stuff, but I really want to finish a book, so I'm not very lot in the mood of this one, but it's easy, and I can read it before the next roll drop, but I think I might wait until the next roll drop, which is in 20 minutes, and then decide which 2 books I'll be reading. So we just had the last roll drops, and the prompts were set in present day and something out of a genre outside of your comfort zone, like other, which for me means I can read Snitch because it's a thriller. I don't read thrillers at all, and it is set in current day, and that means I'll be reading Heartstopper and Snitch today, which will be finishing my Bookoplathon. I'm very excited to finish these. So I'll catch you later. Now I'm going to do more of the laundry. Wow. I ran the Zwendelprins and Snitch through Carpile, because I finished Snitch. And the Zwendelprins came out at a high 4-star at 8.86, and Snitch came out as a 3-star at 6.14. Snitch was very easy and fast to read, but I didn't think it was particularly well done. It was intriguing and fast, but that's really it. Just think it could have been better. And also trigger warnings for drug abuse, murder, and suicide, mentions of suicide, at least. Also ableism, since the main character has ADD or ADHD, and she gets mistreated by different people in the story. And then the Zwendelprins has trigger warnings, I think, for, what did I put here? Violence and abuse of power. I think that's all. I also wanted to mention that Accused by Jolley is categorized as adult. It has, I have it somewhere, because he told me, it's like PG-13, and it has action and violence, moderate police brutality, and moderate language with one fuck thrown in for flavor, which I really liked the explanation, and no sex. So, which I really enjoyed, of course. No sex, better. And I reread Heartstopper for the... Let me see how many times I've actually read Heartstopper by now. It's quite ridiculous, because I love this book, but I haven't continued. I'm really eager to buy the sequel here. This is the 4th time I've read it, and this is just a comfort read. I cried this time while reading because I was very grateful for my friends that I currently have, and all the chats that I have with them, and certain scenes in this book remind me of the amazing people in my life. And this is just a comfort read that I can read at any time. Every time I don't feel good, this is there to calm me down. And the power this book holds is immaculate. And it is always a 5-star. So I actually completed this readathon, which is amazing. I read 4 books, which is great for my Goodreads goal, and I hope you enjoyed this experience. Sorry for not showing so much B-roll or anything in my life, because not really a lot happened. And in Corona times, it's just very bland and bleak. Even though I'm loving things in my life, it's just mostly talking to people, which I do not, of course, record because it's personal and online and it's weird. So until next time, I hope you liked this video. Everything will be linked down below, and I'll leave my socials as well as my Amazon wishlist. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And until next time, see you later.